Matt Wilton speaking. Hi, everybody, and welcome to another Maguire webinar. We've got three people here tonight who are going to be speaking to you all about the course setups that we do here in the UK, and specifically the Newcastle course that's going to be coming up 27th of November. So first of all, I'm going to just run around and introduce. So Jawad Anjum, can you say a little bit about yourself, please?
Jawad Anjum, good evening, everyone. I'm one of the two instructors for the upcoming Newcastle course, and I'm really excited and just really looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Maritza Warnick. Good evening, everyone. I'm the other instructor for the Newcastle course, and I'm also very much looking forward to it.
Lewis Toombs speaking. Hi everyone. I'm the course organizer for the upcoming Newcastle course, and I am too looking forward to taking part in it as well.
Thank you all. So we've got a great team, and I'm sure that there'll be a few people watching this tonight who have already signed up for the Newcastle course. There will be an opportunity to meet the course team and also one coach or a few coaches that will be attending the course in a few weeks' time. So you get the opportunity to really get to know who's going to be running the Newcastle course before it happens, which is something that I definitely didn't have in my early days. So we're going to go around again and give you a little bit of information. So Jawad, over to you.
Thank you, Matt. The course takes place over 3 days, but starting on Wednesday evening right through to Saturday. I still remember coming into the hotel on Wednesday evening of my first course, and I had never seen so many stammerers in one room in my life, and I was equal parts terrified and excited by it as well. So many people with smiling faces and similar experiences to myself. So we'll welcome you in, and we'll have a little chat with you recorded to see how your speech is, ask you a few questions, and get you settled into the course, tell you some of the rules, how things are going to go, take any questions, that kind of thing. Then on Thursday, we get stuck straight into the physical techniques of the course, weapons as we call them. That's really focusing on the physicality of stammering. So your breathing, everything, how you pronounce, enunciate words, the way you'll be tackling blocks and challenging sounds. And we'll be working on that, drilling that throughout the day with some wonderful, wonderful coaches who I've seen have signed on for the course as well. Then on Friday, we get into the psychological side of things. We look at mentalities and mindsets, and more specifically, we look at the practical things that you can do to help shift from negative to positive and be proactive about changing those mindsets that might have held you down in the past. It was a key one for me. I remember feeling very embarrassed by my stammer, slightly ashamed and avoiding things quite a bit. And this was a key day on the course for me, really helping me think in an entirely different way that led me now to doing things I never thought I would honestly ever do back then. And Saturday, we combined the two and we let you loose, have a little bit more fun with your speech so you get to enjoy speaking, which is what we all want. You get to see it in action with a coach on the streets and doing some of that yourself as well. And before sending you home, we'll make sure you get ready so you have all the right support in place. You've got coaches, phone list. There's so many things, some of which Lewis will touch on, so you start off on the right track.
Thank you.
Maritza Wernick, hi again. I'll now explain a bit more about different forms of stammering. So, for example, you have covert and overt stammerers. And briefly, what that means from my own experience, I was a very big covert stammerer. And that means that I used to hide a lot. I would avoid a lot of words, or if the tension got too high and I got very nervous, very scared, I would just not say anything at all. So I never felt that I was able to express myself how I wanted to express myself. So it obviously was very frustrating, and that was one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to do the course. And I think, as Jawad explained, what the course does very well is that they not only touch on the physical side of stammering, but also on the psychological side of stammering. So you're also gonna talk and confront the fear that we feel and the shame that we feel because of our stammer. I remember feeling a lot of shame, and I was, even on the first day when I was there, I felt like, oh, I can't, I don't really want to be associated with others that stammer. But now I'm very happy that I'm associated with others that stammer, because I'm very proud of what we do as well. But that's a brief explanation of what it means to be a covert. But obviously, you also have overt stammerers. And that means that it's very noticeable that you stammer. So it's a lot more difficult to hide it. And for most people, it can also be a mix. So it doesn't have to be that you're only overt or that you only covert. But within the program, we help with both. So we have the physical side to be in control of these overt blocks that we all experience. And then we have the psychological side to also talk about, or to help us with the covert side of stuttering. So that's just a brief explanation of the difference between being an overt and a covert stammerer. And I believe now it's Lewis' turn to say something.
Lewis Toom speaking. Thank you, Maritza and Jawad. As Jawad touched on earlier on, a key component of the Maguire program is that the lifetime membership does mean lifetime. The support network doesn't end once you've gone home. That is only the beginning. There's a hell of a lot of stuff that is available to help you when you need it most. For me personally, I take advantage of the daily morning warm-up calls. So this is where fellow grads and coaches, they all meet every day via Zoom and just encourage each other and warm up for the day to set the day off on a good tone. There's also the 2 primary coaches which you are assigned as soon as you leave the course. Now, these are not only there to keep you accountable, they're also there for any questions you may have or any help you may need. There's also monthly support groups which meet all around the world. These will be explained once you have finished the course. You would have to speak to a coach or instructor in your local region to find out where these are. But these are really good as they are face to face, and it also helps you build relationships with other people on the course, which makes it easier for you to open up and encourage each other with your speech. There's, of course, the international phone list as well. I nearly forgot about that. So there's a network of coaches that span the whole of the globe. So that means no matter what time of the day where you are, there's always someone available to talk to you, be that it may be in a different time zone, but they are there to help. And of course, you can, well, we do encourage you to go on to refresher courses as often as you can, as these do give you that lift that sometimes we all need. Lewis Toombs.
Thank you, Lewis. If you've got any questions, please do post them in the comments bar, and we'll be able to answer them for you. Has any of you three been to the Royal Station Hotel before? Just wondering if you have. Have you experienced it? What was it like for you?
Really great. Yeah, it's a great hotel. It's very nice. It's very much in the city center of Newcastle, which is also very good because travel-wise, it's easy to get there. And the hotel itself is just very nice, very good, very nice breakfast as well. So, and good rooms to work in.
If you haven't ever been to the northeast as well, the locals are very friendly. So please don't be afraid. They are very welcoming, even though it is very, very cold.
I did my first course in Swindon, but I still remember the thoughts, feelings, and emotions of going into that hotel for the first time as a new student. And I knew my brother who did his first course at the same time as me, but we weren't allowed to have any contact anyway. They kept us apart. And I still remember walking into the hotel and just feeling petrified about meeting all of these strangers. I don't know, how did any of you feel before you did your first course?
I remember being terrified is what I remember. And it took a long time to get over that, but it was very quick with the instructor I had and the coaches that I was working with. They were just so good and so supportive all the way through that immediately I felt more and more at ease while I was doing these different challenging things. But yeah, definitely I remember specifically sweaty palms, and even first day video, maybe you can see it wiping my palms on my legs, just covered in that. So yeah, quite nervous.
Yeah, same for me. I think I briefly touched on it. Like I was like so nervous that up until me arriving there, I was still thinking of ways to get out of it and just feel like, oh, I'm not going to do it. But thankfully I did. But I was very scared. And yeah, but I think then once I was there and I was in a room and everyone stuttered there, it was, I think for most of us, it was my first time to experience that, being in a room where everyone stuttered instead of feeling like the outsider. So once I felt that, I already felt a bit more at ease as well, because it's quite nice to not feel so alone anymore. And I think just by already knowing that everyone there stutters, it really helps. Like it's nice to not feel like the outsider.
Yeah, I can 100%. Oh, sorry, Matt, if I'm talking over you.
No. Over to you, Lewis. Sorry.
Cheers. Yeah, I can 100% echo what you guys have just said, except I was under 18, so I think I was feeling the big brave man right until it was my turn to actually sit in that chair, and yeah, absolutely bricked it.
That's great. We have a question here, and it'd be interesting. I think we can all answer it. But young Lennon Timberlake is going to be doing the course in Newcastle, so he'll be obviously with one of his parents. What day are we assigned a coach? Is this before the course? How many people are on the course, and what is the ratio to each coach? Anybody want to answer that one?
Yeah, I can say a bit about it, and then maybe someone else can take over. But yeah, so you usually, or you get your coach at the end of the course. So that would be Saturday evening. And so every new student gets 2 coaches. So these are your 2 primary coaches that will support you after the course and do really make use of that as well. How many people are on the course and what is the ratio to each coach? Would someone else like to answer that last bit of the question?
Lewis Toombs speaking. In regards to how many will be on the course, we are expecting, I'd say, a good 80 to 100. Sorry. This is as the Newcastle course is a quite popular course out of the ones which we do. And in regards to the ratio of coaches to new starters, there will be, I'd say, 4 to 1 on certificated coaches, I'd have thought.
Yeah, so all new students will be working one-to-one with coaches a lot of the time, but the coaches will shift around. Your primary coaches are the ones for after the course that you call very often and keep up to date with your progress or challenges, that kind of thing. On the course itself, you get a lot of attention one-to-one. You'll probably grow tired of it, that much attention. So well looked after.
Thank you. Yeah, just to add a couple of other points, I'd probably say, in Lennon's case as well, he'll obviously get to meet a coach before the course, and I'll be thinking about the right sort of coach for him for that. And then during the course, he'll have coaches with him all the time. So there won't be any particular time that he'll be without a coach. During lunchtime, during food, then you'll obviously be with him as well, but his coach will be focusing on him and his speech. So they're not going to be left alone at all. And that would be the same if it was an older person on the program or a younger person. But then, like Maritza said, their primary coaches will be allocated to them at the end. And if there's a particular coach that he likes, or we might get coaches come to us and say, I'd like to coach Lennon, and then we discuss it. And as a team, we come up with what we think is best for him. And that will be the same with everybody. So a few more questions. Andrea, it seems most people do the course when they're much older. Yeah, and very few people under the age of 17 do it. Why is that? What are the success chances of a 17-year-old? Well, I'll start off by answering that one because I really like that question, and I think it's a really good one. And yes, there is more adults that attend the program than minors or anyone under 18. However, I've had recently a 10, 11-year-old join and doing really, really well. But it does depend a lot on the individual, and it is a intensive 3-4 day course. There's a lot of hours. There's a lot of, you've got to really concentrate, and you've got to really want to embrace it. You've got to want this to have a massive difference in you. And too many times in the past, we've seen under 18s attend just because their parents want them to, or just because their parents are paying for it. And, well, I might as well give it a try. Well, like we've already said, with the after support as well, this isn't just 3 days. This is about you wanting it badly enough to embrace it long term. And yeah, there is times when you need to be supported, and I definitely needed that support from my coach, without any doubts, to keep me on the rails and to answer any questions if I was having a blip. And that happened. So I needed the support network. But yeah, again, there is less under 18s, I'd say, because they have to be the right under 18 that really wants it badly enough. And when they're over 18, that's exactly the same thing as well, but they're speaking for themselves then. They're not normally sat with a parent, or even a parent speaking for them a lot of the times. So yeah, the Maguire program can be successful for an under 18, but they've got to really want it. And if they do, they'll do well. I don't know if any of you want to add to that.
Lewis Toom speaking. Well, I can speak from personal experience. I joined the program when I was 14. It was very daunting back then. There was nowhere near as many under 18s as there are now, but I was made to feel very welcome, and I liked the fact that I was treated as an adult for once. But yeah, you really do have to be ready in your own mind and just not be there just because you're being forced by mom or dad.
That's great. Thank you, Lewis. It's good to come from someone who experienced it under 18 as well. So fantastic. And the last question here we've got, I think, again from Andrea. What are the long-term success chances of a 17-year-old? Again, I think we've probably answered that. It's the same as what it would be really with anyone. But again, there has to be immaturity around it. So yeah, that's the success rates last year were about 80% throughout the whole of the people that were on the program. Okay, can't stay on live. I'll rewatch it later today. Okay, well, thank you very much, John. Very nice for you to appear tonight anyway and put that up. And thank you for everyone else. Don't know, has anyone got anything else to add? We're really looking forward to the Newcastle course, and it's, like we said, it's going to be quite a nice size course, between 10 and 15 new students, and probably 80 to 100 graduates.
Okay. I'm also really looking forward to the course. And I think, just to add to what Matt said, it's like, it's maybe not really about the age, but more about how willing you are to embrace it. So if you're like 17 or even younger, but you're very willing to embrace it all, then it can definitely work and help very well. But yeah, really excited for the course.
Lewis Toom speaking. Yeah, just to follow on from that point, I'd actually say, if you have joined at that sort of age where you're really trying to figure out who you are, what a great point to introduce this new way of speaking. It just makes things, I'd say, a lot easier in the long run.
Really looking forward to hearing a few Geordie accents in Newcastle. Always one of my pleasures, and I hope you see how much fun we have with speaking, and that's what we hope to bring to the course as well.
Thank you. And I'll just end. Oh, sorry, we've got another question before we do. I think we should say that. By the way, I feel my kid is not quite ready. She seems comfortable for now in a little safe bubble. Well, like I would say to a lot of people in that situation, if that's the case, then she's definitely not ready. And I don't think that it should be it should be discussed too much. I think, you know, it's only when it really starts to affect people do they actually really want to do something about it and attend the program. So I think keep it as it is for now, and we're always one of the options if that's something that's needed in the future. I just want to end by saying the key things here, if you do the Maguire program, is to trust us. You know, there is challenges ahead, and it is quite a scary thing facing up to your fear, you know, but we've all been through it as well. We've all been on that first course as well, so we know how it feels. So you won't be alone with that, and we'll be able to take you through every step of the way as well. With these great people we've got loads of great coaches coming. You know, there's going to be a right mixture of people on the course, and everyone is there for just one reason, and that's to work on our speech. So it's going to be brilliant. So thank you, you three, for coming tonight. Really appreciate it. And yeah, look forward to seeing whoever is watching this who decides to want to have a chat. Just give me a call. We can arrange a Zoom. I can go into more details about the course. And, you know, there's loads of options. It's about finding out about the program and then going away and thinking what's best for you. I think that's the most important thing. Thank you, and bye for now.
Bye for now.